Thing. Oh, we're live too.
Are we flowing?
Hey everybody, Chris.
And sis.
Sorry if we're a little human today. We were born this way.
Yeah, we were.
It did kind of work. Okay. Disclaimer.
These. Oh, fudge.
Are over here.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Boop, boop. These are the inner workings of our minds. We are not professionals. We are just sharing our journey.
So today we're going to discuss attachment.
Oh my God, attachment's a huge one. I didn't start looking into it until this past year, probably after I had a pretty big relationship end, and then I started questioning, like, okay, so many people have told me you're good just the way you are, you're beautiful just the way you are, when in reality, I was not. I had a lot of toxic things about me that I brought into my relationship that I did not even realize were still hanging on my back. Like, you know how Santa has his big bag of presents? I had a big bag of bad presents.
It can take a long time to kind of sort through everything that you've gone through in your life. You can only handle trauma so much at a time. So, you know, you got to pick and choose.
And also, whenever you're somebody who has gone from relationship to relationship to relationship and you haven't taken that time in between, like I was, I had a lot there that just never got worked out.
Emotional baggage, and sometimes it doesn't appear for months after you've taken the time to get to know yourself on your own level, as everybody must.
Probably the first 6 months, I dug a little bit into it, but the last like 4 to 5 months, I've been really like learning more about myself because I got the main, like the heartbreaking stuff worked on. I got to a point to where I feel comfortable in my own mind to start figuring out what about me am I not proud of that I've brought to a relationship before. What about me has hurt another person that I didn't mean to hurt, you know?
We're not all the good guys all the time.
We're not. And sometimes you need that moment to take a step back and realize that, yeah, you've hurt people. It's okay. We all have. We're all learning.
Everybody's human. That's part of growing. If you've never made mistakes, then you've never grown before. That's unrealistic. You have to look at yourself as somebody that does make mistakes. And it's important to recognize those things. And maybe you want to owe an apology to somebody from your past. Maybe that's something that, you know, I mean, I've definitely had to reach out several years later and say, hey, I just figured this out. But, you know, I was younger and I had a lot to learn. I had a lot of things to do. And I've taken a lot of time to myself now, several years for the most part. And you learn a lot, not just about yourself, about the world. There are growing opportunities that you can't always cohabitate, especially in a way that, you know, maybe you jump into things a little bit fast.
Attachment is really almost everything from my way of looking at it. The type of cereals you buy. Did your parents buy those? Did you eat those with your siblings? Ooh, attachment. TV shows you watch. What else is there?
I'm stuck on comedies, but I gotta laugh sometimes, man.
I'm stuck on Outlander, and it's so bad, but it's okay because it's really great.
I'm stuck on Scotland.
Scotland.
But I wouldn't say that's an attachment. I have an attachment now to living life and experiencing things.
Yes.
And that's good. That's positivity,
and
man.
What's interesting, and my theory on it, is once you spend more time on your own, getting to know yourself, it does get easier to pick out those people who aren't necessarily healthy for you. Like, I've been on a date or two, and the second one I went on, I was like, oh, no. Like, old Julia, maybe, but new Julia is like, girl, no, you need to run. And I was like, thank you for knowing me. Thank me for having my own back.
So as we grow, we constantly evolve. The older we get and the more that you evolve, the more you grow inside your mind, the more you may outgrow the people around you, you know? So yeah, I still have some friends from like when I was way a little kid a long time ago, but you know, maybe we're not in the same place in life. Now, if I see him, I'm not going to be a dick, you know? Probably we're going to really enjoy that lunch and catching up on where we're at. But you become the people you associate yourself with most on a daily basis. So if you are evolving, then your group must also evolve. Like, that's only healthy for you and your growth.
And it doesn't mean that you can't talk to those people anymore. It just means that you're loving them, maybe from a little bit more afar than you used to.
As it's healthy for you and growth.
Yeah, because you're at that point. The way I look at it is like different. not that you're on different levels. It doesn't mean that one's higher and one's lower. It just
Right.
means you're on a different vibration. You're on a different level at the time.
And there are many. We're not all meant for the same levels. We're
And
not
you
all meant
may
for the
meet
same
back
vibrations.
up later on, you know, in the future.
Yeah, things happen like that frequently. It's strange.
Well, it's also because you've had an attachment to this person at one point in time.
Very possible.
And for me, usually, if you've been in my life and you've met something deeply to me, to my heart, like, I still love you in some way. Like, I'm going to remember you in some way. But right now, we're not vibing.
Right.
We may vibe again. Who knows?
That's why I'll always run into somebody from my past, like somebody that I just saw yesterday, because it's just the right way to be, you know? Be comfortable around
polite,
your
be
people. Love your
nice.
people.
Also, like, just accepting where people are is important.
It's okay. If somebody doesn't know the same things as you, that's okay. Like, you know, I see frequent situations, most situations, honestly, it's sad to say. If somebody doesn't know something and somebody else does, usually there's ridicule, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I
That's where contempt
cannot
comes
stand
in.
situations
It's like
that.
contempt
It makes me so
is.
uncomfortable.
I'm so sorry I talked over you.
No, we were on the same
I got
page.
excited.
Yeah.
So contempt. Oh my gosh, I read this. Dan Goodman or Gottman, don't quote me. He is a relationship expert, and he is somebody who can sit there and within 3 minutes of you talking can tell you if you and your significant other are going to make it to 15 years. He has a 95% rate on that.
Okay, that's
like,
substantial.
he's a really interesting person, huge relationship expert. Where was I going with that?
Ridicule.
Ridicule. Contempt is one of the 4 deadly horsemen of relationships. Contempt is one of the biggest ones. I can't quote the others, but contempt is one that I've really started looking into, because it's whenever you're in a relationship with somebody and they feel like they are on a pedestal compared to you. So they are up here and you are down here.
You have to
It's like a control type of situation. And it really takes away the equality in a relationship, because that person feels like really that they're better than you.
And that equality in a relationship is what you go for.
Yeah.
Some people realistically are kind of submissive. Some people are, you know, there's difference.
I'm personally one of those people that's more about equality in a relationship.
I am the same way, as long as I get to pay for everything every time we go out.
That sounds terrible, because I make money too, and I also want to pay for things.
But you got past it.
No. Because I still did that.
Well, when
I
we lived together, we always shared the bills.
Well, yeah. Equality.
Yes.
Equal. Split things.
So there's different versions and different definitions,
We just
depending
kinda
on
went
how
off
you
on a
work
little
out.
thing. But yeah, contempt is one of the biggest things, and I invite all of you to really research that a little bit more. Also, research your attachment styles. There are 4 main ones that I look into, and I have found a lady who explains them really well. She comes from a psycho-spiritual method. The first one is anxious, open heart, which was me for most of my life. And that's just, you're an open heart as soon as you meet somebody. Like, here I am, love me. Then there's the avoidant, which is also the rolling stone, which is somebody who's a little bit more like, I don't know about this. And then there's the disorganized, the spice of lifer. You guys will have to look into these. I'm just telling you the main ones. And then there's the secure. That's one that I'm actually more striving for. That's whenever you're able to have a balance about yourself whenever you do meet somebody else. So you know who you are, and you're not going to have to change certain parts of you because you've already done that work.
Realistically, an ideal relationship should be 2 people that already have developed lives and know what they want from their lives, cohabitating together in ways that make both of them happier, but take nothing away from what they've already earned on their own.
Absolutely.
You do not see this very often, which is why it's so important to discuss such things. Secure cornerstone relationships. Let's do that. Bring back the art of casual dating as well. How frequently is that you got a friend maybe, and they're like, oh, I just met this guy, and then 2 weeks later they're like staying the night every night and stuff, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta calm that down a little bit. Let's just be completely honest here. Most of the time that ends up in a train derailment, or somebody loses something, somebody gets big hurt, and usually are we not the friends kind of saw it coming?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we do it ourselves too. Let's just get real cool about this real quick and say, maybe there was nothing wrong with just kind of, talking back and forth for a while,
I definitely see 1 month to 2 months, I feel it's just not enough time to get to know somebody. For me personally,
You got to clear that honeymoon phage, man. If you miss them, that's good. Enjoy that missing them. Enjoy that happy, excited feeling of, you know, oh, we're going to see each other this weekend. This is so cool. Like, you don't have to do it right now.
But also value the time that you spend by yourself.
Word.
Because you should still be just as important to yourself when you get into a relationship. It does not mean that you become that other person and that other person becomes you. It does not mean that you have to spend every waking moment with that person, thinking about that person and planning your life around that person. Because more than likely at some point you may get your heart broken. And then you're going to have to come back and you're going to have to find yourself all over again, which is a journey I have been on because I have done that too many times.
Over and over and over again, which is why it takes me so long this day and age to call myself officially in a relationship. I'll be seeing somebody for a really, really long time before that happens. And it's been several years since it's been
and especially
substantial.
If you're dating to someday be in that relationship that you stay in, you're in a small little corner of the world. There are billions of people out there?
Quite potentially.
Like, it's amazing if you can find somebody in this area that you just connect with like that, but some of us just don't.
And I'm not in a hurry.
I'm not either.
It'd be great to spend that time with somebody, but you know what? When it comes, it comes. And for now, we growing. Chris and Sis making their own stuff happen. We're doing our own things.
One of the first times we've actually both been single at the same time.
It is.
In a long time.
It's been almost never, actually, since we were kids.
Which is amazing because look at this YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's kind of worked out. This is because of single life. Yeah. Realistically, we're following our own goals and, love you. And we love you guys.
Also, there's one last note I want to put down. If you are not a secure attachment style and you are one of the other three, it does not mean that you can't have a healthy relationship.
Of course not.
Just being aware of yourself and being aware of what category you're in, which, as I said, there are different people out there that have different categories, but Brianna MacWilliam is one that has spoken the best to me because I am more of a spiritual person. But yes, you can still have healthy relationships. You just need to be aware of where you're at.
Self-awareness, and that is preach number one about everything that we talk about. Just be self-aware. Yep.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in again. It's been another Chris and Sis episode.
Till next time.
All right, bye guys.